Welcome. I'm Desiree Dubois, founder of An Empowered Woman and Let's Talk Success. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with David. Oh no. Dave Phillipson. I'm sorry. I'll start that over again. Welcome. I'm Desiree Dubois, founder of An Empowered Woman and Let's Talk Success. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Dave Phillipson, who is the Director of Global Development and the Executive State Director of California CEO Space. Good afternoon, Dave. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Do you feel empowered?
Always when I'm talking to you.
Always. Well, you've been very, very busy with your different projects. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Sure. Certainly CEO Space is a big passion and working with cooperation, collaboration, and helping entrepreneurs all over the world. I'm also working on my very first book. I'm working on 7 books and a movie, and I just started a foundation to help entrepreneurs. But the first book will be completed probably before year's end and will be ready for distribution and release for CEO Space in our March session. We do 5 a year, and March, May, July, October, and December. And CEO Space has put out a number of bestsellers, probably more bestsellers than any other organization. So I'm excited to be able to release it at CEO Space.
Congratulations! That's quite a accomplishment, I know. And CEO Space is just one, as you know, is one of my favorites. It's a home away from home. There's nothing but the love and the support and the talent that resides in that community, combined from people all over the world in different stages of their business. Some that are starting, some that are fixing, some that are building their businesses. And I love how they say that you learn, earn, and return. And that collaboration, that sharing has just been a very nurturing, component of it. Now, with your success that you've had personally, as well as some of the success that you've seen others, what are some of the common denominators? What are some of the contributing factors to that?
I think what it is being surrounded by good people. I believe it was Napoleon Hill that said, if not, it was Earl Nightingale, but talking about that you end up being like the 5 people you hang around most. And being in an atmosphere like that and having good friends like you and all the other members, you're constantly surrounded not just by 5, but by multitudes of 5s of good, solid people that are going to help you get to the next level.
So personally, what are some of the things that you do? What's in your success formula? Like do you make a goal? Do you have deadlines? Do you have practices? Do you have coach? What makes Dave successful?
I think a recipe for success is to always keep your eye on the prize, set goals, not just set goals, but write them down and continue to reflect upon them. Because if you set that intention, it's a lot of fun. And there's, coming up on the end of the year, I always look at my goals again, see where was I this year, where was I compared to the middle of the year, etc. And there's a goal-setting exercise that I go through that's very powerful.
And does that include your personal goals, financial goals, spiritual goals, career goals? Is it all in one, or is it, do you segment them?
They're segmented. I almost spoke. They're segmented all within the same exercise.
Great.
Non-material, material, personal, business, etc.
Okay. So I know that at CEO Space we have lots of success stories, and there's been lots of success people. I mean, we've had some major authors, best-selling authors, some best-selling inventors, producers, and just surrounding ourselves with those people. What have you seen to be one of their common denominators or a common thread amongst them?
I would say surrounding yourself by around good people, making sure that you have a system that you're able to check in on each other. Accountability, basically, accountability partners. If you have a bunch of people rowing in the same direction, your personal ship is going to go a lot further, and certainly the most important ship you'll ever sail on is your relationship.
Very well said, and I thank you for that. What we're doing now is that, we've been supporting women in business for the last 8 years, and we're excited to be launching our Let's Talk Success program, which we've done in the past, but now we're doing it where we're visiting women who've reached a seven-figure mark. They in their homes or their offices, and they'll be sharing their stories, their challenges, their victories, and secrets to success. And we're distributing it via a mobile app. So a mobile magazine. So it'll be on everyone's iPad or iPhone or whatever Android systems they're using. That way we can reach people all over. And we've included 11 different countries, women groups and associations, as well as those locally. The reason why we're so passionate about this is because I've been supporting women in business for quite a while, and I see on television that there's not a lot of wonderful role models of women, successful women. Some of them are portrayed in the Housewives or different shows where they're scratching, screaming, fighting, and yet they're beautiful and they are very successful, but it's not necessarily the only image we want to portray. We want to be able to show that these are women that are doing amazing things with their businesses. And yes, it can sometimes be a struggle. Yes, it is a journey. Yes, it is a balancing act. They have family, children. Yes, there is some guilt and some loneliness and different things along the way. I want them to see that real life portrayal so they can really be realistic about their goals and then just be supported in that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I think that's great. You've always been about empowering women, and there's no one, in my opinion, in my observation, that does it better than you do. So kudos for that. With regard to positive role models for television, it's kind of funny because it, when you think about it, Rolls-Royce and Ferrari, Lamborghini, some of the biggest names, or most of the stores on Rodeo Drive, none of them advertise on television. And why is that? It's because the most successful people don't watch television, so they don't care about that audience. But the fact of the matter is Hollywood is shaping, and I don't know why we give Hollywood such a high prestige with their beliefs, etc., and let them affect our brains. I don't think that's right. I think the best thing to do is exactly what you're doing and reach people in ways, and I think doing so by their personal devices, and when I say devices, I'm talking about their iPads, etc., and reaching them on their phones, because you can reach anyone anywhere. And I think you are onto something here, Desiree. I think you've got an opportunity to make a bigger impact than Hollywood.
Yay, I sure hope so. We hope so. Well, thank you so much for your perspective. It's always interesting and valuable to hear a man's perspective on this. And when closing, what empowering thought would you like to leave our listeners with today?
I think there's two of them. One is by General Douglas MacArthur, famous in history, and although many others will take credit for this, he once said, "Success leaves clues," and that's exactly what you're doing for people. Is you're taking other people's success and leaving those clues on behalf of others. Another is a quote by Bob Proctor from The Secret, and he said, people's problems is that they focus on the wrong things, because you get what you focus on. The challenge is most people focus on what they're not getting, and they get more of it. So watch what you focus on and pay attention to the clues that Desiree is giving to you.
Well, thank you very much. And so what's planned? What do you have planned for 2015?
My plan on 2015 is make it through to celebrate 2016. More of the same, essentially, is just staying around good, empowering people that I love to run and jump and play with, and share good ideas and see what becomes of those relationships, and always meeting new and fascinating people and growing those relationships. And of course, the first out of the chute for me will be the new book as I finish that just as the year ends.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be waiting for that and looking forward to seeing that and reading your book. And I want to thank our listeners and viewers today. And until we meet again, stay empowered.
Thank you.
Bye.